Okay, and welcome back to Renee Glenn Designs. I am doing a Atlanta Falcons cup, and the color is red, black, and silver. I already have my flow paints ready, black, red, and silver. I put a little bit of silicone in the silver. I'm just going to get started. So I don't know how well this is going to work, but we are going to do it together. And this is my process for doing my dirty pour cups. It's still going to be kind of translucent because it's glass, and I like that because you'll still be able to see through it. So I'm just coating the mug with red so that the paint has something to flow off of. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just want something on there. Yes, my hands are ashy. Yes, I need a manicure. This video is not about what I look like as opposed to what I'm doing. Usually I would spray paint my cups, but I've been a little under the weather and I don't want the fumes. And quite frankly, I really like how the dirty pours come out when I use the paints. No two cups will ever be the same. I'm just making sure that I cover all of the glass. The reason I have the black on the top is because even though the epoxy that I use is BPA certified and food grade and blah 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 blah, no VOCs, low whatever for toxicity, I just want to make sure that the customer does not put their mouth on the epoxy. You just don't know how it will affect anyone, so better safe than sorry. So my husband says that the colors are really red, black, and white, but I said it was a little silver on their logo online, so I'm going to make this predominantly red and black with a small hint of silver. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You could have painted, or I could have painted the cup white first, and then went over it with shaking up my flow paint, courtesy of my cousin Wendy for my bottles. And I am just going to drizzle basically this on. I don't have any silicone in this at all. It's just extra red paint that I already mixed with the Floetrol. I love doing these. I really like how that red and black is coming together. I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the empty spots covered. And technically at the end there really won't be too many empty spots because the paint is going to, as it keeps spinning, merge together and create its own pattern. Once I get that silver on there, oh, it's gonna be really nice. I'm coming back in with a little more red. I see some air bubbles, but I'll get those out. The handle is always the trickiest to do. The only thing I don't like like about this process is you have to use so much paint. Sometimes I feel like it's just a loss of paint. But it's blending and I'm loving it. I'm just trying to get a few spots that I see that has nothing. You know what? I don't know if I should add any more black. But let's see. Let's zap it with a little bit of heat. Oh, I see one spot that really has nothing at all. These little bottles is making it a lot easier for me. I would normally just use a cup. I'm gonna put, just a tad black. Now I'm doing. I don't want it to be overrun with black. And there's no preference, it's whatever you want. Hopefully I'm popping these air bubbles. Because this is paint and not silicone, if I really want to make sure that there are no empty spots, I'm gonna have to actually pour it. I mean, not silicone. I meant because it's paint and not epoxy. I can do the same process using just epoxy. So at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that I have no empty spots. And again, it really doesn't make that big of a difference because remember, I painted the cup red, but I didn't let it dry before getting started. So this process, I am just making sure that I cover as much of it as possible and that I have the pattern pretty much the way I want it before I add the silver. Like I said, I want predominantly red and black, and I mean just a little hint of silver. I don't know if you can see the little parts that I am closing up. I could run my brush over it, but I don't want it to be muddy. This is going to completely change the pattern. But it's going to make sure that I get the paint in there too. Sometimes it gets uglier before it gets better. Alrighty. You can see how the swirls are really developing here. I'm going to use my brush to paint the handle. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like how it's looking. Just want to make sure that I get the inside of this handle. Paint is going to continue to drip on it. This is what I was speaking about, muddying the colors, which I don't want to do, but because it's so much paint on there, it's just going to pretty much glide. It's a good amount. The paint is still moving. In a little while, I'm going to put some heat on it because, like I said, I don't have epoxy in this. I want the paint to pretty much stay where it is without losing the pattern. I'm just trying to make sure that the bottom is just a little more darker. So I have a lot of paint dripping off. And I still just want to make sure that I don't have any empty spots. So I'm just lightly touching, moving the paint to those spots. I mean lightly. There's an air bubble here and there. I'm gonna pop. I like the way that looks. Everything appears to be, for the most part, covered. But I'm gonna let it, yeah, here we go. Go around one more time. Just to make sure before I add the silver. I don't know if you can see the little air bubbles there. I think I got it all. The silver, I added a little silicone, and what the silicone is going to do, let's see, this spot is help create cells. I forgot about the top part, but thank God it looks like it's covered. Like I said, I don't want much silver. I want very little. As it mixes, it's going to take on a new pattern as well. So I'm going to put the heat on this. And it's going to flow through the paint that was already there. Continues to spin, it's going to make new designs. The only thing about using the heat for this is it's also drying. I want a little silver here. It's drying up the paint. In this one, I used the metallic silver. I think I liked it better when it was just predominantly black and red, but it is different. I think once that logo goes on it, it'll be nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my heat gun now and I'm gonna start drying it up, because I pretty much like the way it looks with the red and black mixing and then the little silver in there, and I want to keep it the way it is. I don't want it to change anymore. So the heat is pretty much going to start drying the paint so I don't lose the pattern that has been created, especially because, like I said, it doesn't have any epoxy in it. This is just straight paint. And what's going to happen is the more it spins, the more it's going to blend. And because it's fluid paint, the heat is not only just drying, but it's still moving and it's still mixing, and it will continue to do that until it gets dry enough that I no longer have any motion. Then I'm going to add the logo onto it and epoxy the cup. I'm only doing this because, of course, I waited to the last minute. Oh, as you can see, some of the cells are starting to form there where the black and silver has mixed, and the red. See, as it's moving and drying. By the time this cup dries, it will have done a complete metamorphosis. That's why I love this process, because you never know what it's going to look like in the end. Oh, look at those patterns there. Oh, that is so pretty. The next one I'm going to do, though, will just be black and red. But I love how it's coming out. You see, that right there is already dry. So it's going to get real dark and real dull. But towards the end, it doesn't matter, because it is going to, once I put the epoxy on it, it's going to brighten up again. So I stopped putting the heat to dry it all completely, because one thing I noticed too is when I use the heat to dry the cup, it creates like a textured pattern effect, and it raises up the paint, so the cup looks more dimensional. And I don't know if I really want that more so with this cup. I love the way it looks right now, so I pretty much want to keep it that way. Alright, so that's it. I will show you another video once it is all completely finished, but as you can see how it has changed dramatically. The silicone has mixed in with the paint, and it's created beautiful patterns. I'm still seeing some spots where there is nothing, so I am just filling those spots in. And by this evening, it should be completely dry for me to start adding the logo to it. Thanks for watching.